up with a whistle, heart beats like a drum. JT's got the fire, and the game's just begun. From the court to the field, every play, every stat. He's chasing the story, no time to look back. It's Sports 5-0, living for the thrill. Every highlight, every moment, every skill. JT's got the passion, the drive, the flame. Bringing the best, putting respect on the name. Late nights editing, early morning grind. He's got the vision, the hustle, the mind. From buzzer beaters to walk-off wins, he's telling the tale where the legend begins. This ain't just content, it's heart, it's soul. JT's mission is to make the game whole. For the fans, for the love, for the roar of the crowd, he's turning up the volume, making sports proud. It's Sports 5-0, living for the thrill. Every highlight, every moment, every skill. JT's got the passion, the drive, the flame. Bringing the best, putting respect on the name.
All right, good morning. Welcome to Tape to Tape, where we talk about the Pittsburgh Penguins. Before we get into that, though, I want to talk about our advertiser, Gorman's Pub, man. Great place out on Route 51. Great atmosphere. I know a lot of people in the area have their birthday parties there now. Nice back room off the bar. It's a great place to come hang out. They got great atmosphere, great beer, pool tables, dartboards, karaoke, different always something going on. They got a little back patio outside on a nice. You can go out there if you're a smoker. It's very comfortable. It's a great place to hang out. So Gorman's 3301 Sawmill Run Boulevard, and it's in the Baldwin Brentwood area. I guess it's Brentwood we've considered. Come out to Gorman's for a great time. We got our partner here, my co-host, Darren. How's things going, man?
Everything going pretty good. Keeping busy with, the usual work and life, but doing pretty good.
That's awesome, man. Before we get going, let's congratulate the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, man. How awesome was that? And I'm not a big soccer guy, I admit that. I got to go to games this year. I got to cover them. I became a fan of the team, but the craziest thing was they didn't score a goal or give up a goal all in the playoffs. Like it's one of the craziest things I ever saw in my life. They didn't score a goal or didn't give up a goal. They're I guess it's called, with the penalty kicks. Would that be the way to call it?
Penalty shootout, yeah.
Spot kicks or whatever they call them, the kick from the spot. But they were phenomenal at that. And Eric Dick, the goalie, he was the MVP, was just good enough. He made some really big saves in the championship game yesterday. So I watched the whole game. It's the first time in my life, besides the Olympics, when the girls won it how long ago, that I watched from beginning to end, and I sort of get the strategy involved in soccer now. So I'm not saying that I'm going to put it above hockey, but I want to congratulate the Riverhounds. That was a great run for them. First time in 26 years. So yep, congratulations to the Riverhounds. Since the last time we talked, man, it's been a weird ride for the Penguins. They went over to Sweden, played 2 games. I guess I shouldn't. It's not hard to say they should have won both of them games. They gave away the first one, and then they come back into their regular schedule. They have a ton of time off, and then they play back to back. Talk about Sweden first. The first game. I mean, Penguins sort of have a habit of doing this, don't they? Where they seem like they got the game, they got it, and it's like, oh man, it's a late little letdown.
Yeah, they take their foot off the gas a little bit. And that's kind of been their MO for a couple of years. And this team plays hard, but they're not perfect by any means. I've been, even our last podcast, I said I still don't know if this team is actually good or not. That was very much kind of where I was. And I think this is more of what I expected. They have enough talent that you're going to get hot shooting nights, but it's not always going to be enough to close out the game. And we've now seen that a few games. Minnesota just blew their doors off coming back from Sweden. And then last night, they were the better team than the Kraken, but they kind of fell asleep at the wheel late in regulation and in overtime. And it bit them.
Yeah, they seem to be a little inconsistent, I guess you could say. How do you what's had three, I think, three starts now. How do you feel about Murashov? Do you think he's definitely the future from what you've seen? I know it's only 3 games. I mean, it's
I still think he is. He's very up and down. I mean, people forget how rough Fleury was out of the gate to start his career. Like so bad they actually sent him back at a certain point. So I think Murashev's going to be fine. The shutout against Nashville, I don't read that much because Nashville might be the worst team in the league, them or Calgary. And then the Minnesota game, he kind of comes in on spot duty, doesn't really give up much, but the game was already decided at that point.
yeah.
And then yesterday, that overtime goal was bad. I mean,
That was bad.
it's
From a guy that doesn't score goals either, Brandon Montour. I mean, it was
I
just
understand the Penguins conceded some ice and gave that guy too much space, but there's no reason to give that up. He's really, that's like really the one bad goal he's given up. But I think mostly he's going to be fine. He seems to have the right attitude about it. And I mean, he's going to be a viable NHL goalie, I think is the way I will look at it. Whether he's going to be, Andrei Vasilevsky, or is he going to be more Craig Anderson? You know what I mean? Like, there's a very wide breadth of what he could turn out to be, but I wouldn't panic yet. And I wouldn't panic with any of the young guys yet. Even Brunick, who's been scratched a few times still. I wouldn't panic with any of these guys.
Do you panic at all? And I know this is it's a crazy stat, but the fact that the Penguins cannot win in overtime or the shootout, do you think that's you think that's just a little bit of a downward thing where it's just like the numbers will catch up eventually, or do you think this could be a problem with the younger team?
I mean, I think historically you can look teams that lose a lot of these overtime and shootout games. You're losing a lot of coin flips is ultimately what it is, because it's not really hockey. It's fun, but it's not really true hockey at a certain point. And they have a good amount of regulation wins, which is what I think bodes well for them. But yeah, I don't read too much into it. I mean, Silovs is not good in the shootout. That even extends beyond the Penguins. That's not even like a recent thing. He was even bad in the AHL in shootouts last year. So I think maybe that's the one thing you can kind of key on and be like, that's maybe more of a systemic issue. But at large, I don't dwell too much on it. It's one of those things, like I said, you're calling heads or tails and it comes up the opposite a couple times in a row. That's the way it feels to me. And even in the OT last night, like Murashev gave up a soft goal. They controlled OT. Like that was really the Kraken's only rush up the ice was that goal.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the Penguins, even with Crosby and Wilkins, I don't know, for as good as the talent we used to have, we still have, but I never really didn't seem like we're the greatest at it. I mean, we had a run sometimes where the overtimes look good. I usually don't think of it as a good thing for the Penguins. Maybe it's just because you watch all the games, you see all the times they lose, so you feel like they're worse than what they really are. But
so a good comparison is last year, the Kansas City, different sport, but the Kansas City Chiefs, I think they won 11 one-score games. This year, they're now 0-5 1-5 in one-score games. Like you get years sometimes where all those little breaks in those tight games go your way, and then you have other years where everything goes against you in tight games for no discernible reason other than just variance. It happens. Now, don't get me wrong. These lost points hurt. If they're sitting on the bubble come April and they miss by 2 points, this recent run is what you look at for why you miss.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think this team, I think you hit it right on the head. This team, you don't know if they're going to be, they're so young. You don't know what you're going to get. You might have like a hot streak here and there, but then you're going to have a streak where they look bad. I mean, that game against Minnesota, it looked like they were rusty, man. It looked like they haven't played, and it's a rough thing to do, to go overseas, man, and come back home and not play right away, and you're get time off. That was Shane Stadmiller, by the way. Shane is part of the Steelers, the Steelers Dynasty podcast that they host on on Sports Bible, Shane, and they're phenomenal. If you get a chance to subscribe to them on YouTube, they're now monetized. So get to them and see what you can do. I'm getting some weird posts from YouTube people, so I don't know if this is a.
I think it's a bot.
I think it is. I don't know how that started, but I'm starting to get some weird stuff, which I can't. This one guy has a Bengals thing, so he might just be messing with me because he's not a Pittsburgh fan, which I get. It's fine. But other than that, I looked at the every once in a while you've got the standings in the NHL is one of the things you don't want to look at every day. You got to look at it like
It's
to
a
me,
map.
yeah, you got to look at it once a week. I think is a good time to really study it, and I'm studying it today. And I'll tell you what, man, is Carolina as good as they are right now?
I've been saying for a while, I think there are two teams in the East that look legitimately good when they're healthy, and it's Carolina and New Jersey. Carolina is one of those teams where they're very much in a spot of you need to prove it in April. I've seen these good regular seasons time and time again. And then you get into a series with a truly good team like Florida, for example, who's beat them in back-to-back postseasons. And they just don't have the juice to beat them. But I mean, this year, with how beat up the East is, I think Carolina's right now the best team in the conference.
They've been playing really good. And the funny thing is, as good as the Penguins were at the beginning of the year, this is how hockey is, and it's a good thing, I think. But it can be frustrating. We're only 3 points out of being in last place in our division right now, which is crazy to me.
And then they're only a point out of being what, third?
Yeah, I mean, if they would have got the win yesterday, they'd have been tied with the Islanders. For third place. It's just crazy how. I think it's good for the sport, but I mean, it's frustrating when you're a team. You're like, man, you cannot separate unless you go on one of them epic like 10-0 and 2 runs, or just
the Islanders. I think have won what, 7 of 8. Like they were in last place, went on a run of 7 of 8. Like that's what you need to go on to really cement yourself. And the Penguins came out hot. They've tailed off. Like I said, I think they are going to be very similar to what Montreal was last year, where they're right around exactly 500, just kind of on the bubble. And then whether they sell or buy kind of dictates if they finish above or below that line, I think.
Yeah, that's what makes hockey so unique, man. Like you can honestly, I mean, you've seen it the last couple of years of the Penguins, how great they played at the end of the year to try to make up points, and it's just so hard, man. Like it's because other teams are getting points every game. I mean,
the 3-point system, the extra point system makes both gaining or losing ground really tough. Like especially down the stretch when teams just lock in, like they're more ready for playoff mode. Teams that are on that bubble, like they fight and claw just to get to overtime to get that point. And it just makes it really, really hard to gain any traction if you're a team who's chasing.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, I miss the ties. I really do. I mean, I know people when I left the games, it was like, oh, it was like kissing my brother kind of thing, like kissing your sister, whatever, your boy or girl. It's like, I get it, but I mean, look at soccer. I mean, now that I've gotten a little bit more into soccer, I mean, ties in soccer, the way that's it helped the Riverhounds down the stretch make the playoffs.
Yeah. It's very much a survival tactic in soccer. Like I'm actually, after this, I'm going to Piper's Pub to watch some of the Premier League games.
Oh, cool, man. That's cool.
Today. And like it very much a thing in the Premier League is you get, especially these teams that are just promoted that really want to stay up, they don't want to get relegated. They'll go in the games against top flight teams and they'll go, we're going to make this game hideous and we're going to play for the draw, like get the point and survive kind of thing.
Because the draw, I mean, the draw means so much in soccer. I mean, look what just, I mean, I know in the playoffs they go to the kicks and Pittsburgh. That not to keep getting into the Riverhounds, but man, I was totally impressed with like the way that they just were built defensively. They were built defensively all year. I think Eric Dick had like, I want to say 19 to 24 clean sheets. Or that's his career, I think. He has like 24 clean sheets in his career, which they say is one of the it's like, one of the for the percentage of games.
Impressive.
It's real impressive. And he, like I said, if you didn't get to watch the game yesterday, you missed a great one because he made a couple saves. I mean, even for soccer, I thought they were phenomenal saves. Did you watch the game?
I did. I was actually home I had it on in the background while doing other stuff, but
The one where he jumped up, it was about to get, it was going to the top part of the net. He jumped up, got that over the net, and then the one where the guy headed it and he did a double save at the front. I mean, he was very good. I mean, he made, put it this way, if you looked on paper the way the game was played, Pittsburgh probably should have lost because the shots alone. I mean, they weren't really getting a lot of shots, even though they did hit the crossbar early on. But that was a cool thing. But getting back into the Penguins, one thing you talked about right before we got on, I was actually going to ask you about it. I look at the stats as we go into shows, and the one thing I noticed, man, did the Penguins have some negative players now. I think before the last time we talked you might have been 2 players on the roster that had a negative. Yeah. Now you got, I mean, and talk about the Crosby lines all negative. I mean, including Kindle's a -5. I mean, is that Kindle's fault or is that?
I don't think so. Kindle's mostly fine. I think the problem they're running into now is they just don't have the depth to survive the Raquel and Brazeau injury. And Raquel's very good defensively, and I think he really helps the Sid line in particular with that. So you take him out, it's kind of a cascading effect. You have to break up all the lines. You're losing a really good defensive pivot on the line. Kindle's going to be fine. He has all the good tendencies you want to see defensively. His wingers aren't doing him any favors right now. With Heinen and Novak and the kind of the mishmash of what they have going on there. But the Crosby line hasn't been great defensively all year. It's just Raquel kind of kept it above water, and then you removed him from the equation, and it's not been pretty. And I don't think Kindle was very good on Sid's right wing. He felt out of sorts there. So I want to see Kindle just kind of get stuck at center. I want to see McGroarty get the call up and kind of pair with him for a bit and see where it goes.
Are you shocked at like who they're calling up over other guys? Like, were you shocked that Poland got the call up over some of these other players? Like, would you have personally like to seen some? Would you personally like to see McGroarty instead of Poland get called up at the time?
I would. This feels very much like the McGroarty's only been back a couple games from his injury, his off-season surgery, so they're being very cautious with him, which is fine. That's the diligent thing to do. Mm-hmm. But and this for Poulin, this feels like the last chance saloon kind of thing where like this is it. Like you need to make
start playing.
And so far he's not. Like he plays hard. I think he's just a whiff. I think Hextall swung and missed there. He's just not an NHL player.
Name some of the other some of the players, and I'm looking at right now, is Parker Wotherspoon as good as his numbers show right now? He has 7 points in 21 games. It's nothing great. I mean, for a guy like him, that's basically what you expect. He's a +8, 22 penalty minutes.
Excellent skater. And he's rangy. Like not big, but rangy. Like we got some like width and he can reach far. And he's been an ideal partner for Karlsson. He actually reminds me, if people remember back in the day, when Erik Karlsson was in Ottawa, they had him paired with Mark Mathot a lot. And Mathot's like an unspectacular second pairing defenseman, but for whatever reason, he clicked with Karlsson. This Wotherspoon-Karlsson pairing feels like that. Like he just complements EK very, very well. He's smart. He doesn't force the puck up the boards like blindly. He doesn't do and Ryan Graves has been decent, but he doesn't do the Ryan Graves panic in his own end, bail it up the boards for an icing kind of play. He can skate out of trouble. He's not physical, but he's not soft, if that makes sense. Like he'll lean on, he's not going to hit dudes, but he leans on guys. Like he makes them uncomfortable in space. I think he's been an excellent, excellent pairing with Karlsson in particular.
I mean, his penalty minutes alone, I was shocked at 22. I mean, for a guy that ain't real physical, I mean, are they bad penalties for the most part, or are they just...
A lot of them are him covering for Karlsson, where Karlsson goes on a pitch, while there's 2-on-1, he hooks a guy. But they're the kind of penalties you live with because Karlsson's been productive. So like you deal with those.
Yeah, and speaking of Karlsson, he's only got 1 goal, which I think that'll improve. I think he's gotten some good shots on. He's 13 points, a +7, getting 23 minutes a night, man. Which for his age, that's nothing to whiff at. That's pretty amazing. Sid, how do you think Sid? I mean, I know he's still playing. It's still Sid, but he goes through these moments sometimes. You're like, man, I really didn't see Sid these last couple. I mean, do you think Sid just having a downward little thing right here, or
a lull? He's going to be fine. He's top 5 in goals. I'm pretty sure after yesterday. Still might be top 3 actually. after scoring again yesterday. Multi-point game. He's going to finish around 85, 90 points. He'll be their most consistent player all year. He can't give you what he used to do defensively. Physically, he just can't, which is why Raquel being out kind of hurts more than you would expect.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to be fine. Malkin's still productive too. I mean, they're veteran guys. They're just not going to give you the wire-to-wire 100-point seasons anymore. They're just not able to do that.
Well, I asked you about Witherspoon, and you said, yeah, you think he is as good as his numbers show right now. What about another guy that has phenomenal numbers for what he's done so far this year? And I know plus minus could be overrated, but how about Anthony Mantha? 14 points in 21 games, a +9. I mean, looks like he's playing pretty well.
He looks like the player we saw pre-shoulder injury in Detroit before Washington acquired him, which is a very good second-line forward that can play up the lineup a little bit if you need him. He's big. He's physical, but it's not like a bruiser. He just takes up space smartly, makes dudes uncomfortable on the forecheck, and he complements Malkin well. Like just two big guys that just crash into the corner and cause a little bit of chaos. I think Mantha, he's healthy for the first time, truly healthy for the first time in a couple of years, and that's what we're seeing with him.
And right, real quick, don't forget Gorman's Pub, our advertiser today. Great atmosphere. It's off of Route 51. If you're going towards like Century 3 Mall and you hit the Get-Go, you went a little too far. So it's like the light before the Get-Go, but it's a great place. Great hangout. Pizza shop next door. You can order we can eat outside and on their porch, especially in the summer. It's beautiful time, but in the winter too. Go out there, have a cigarette, come in. You're like pretty much by yourself. It's not like you're smoking a cigarette off of 51. You're behind the building, so it's a pretty nice setup. But Gorman's is a great place. Get to Gorman's. I appreciate their advertising with Sports Bible. And real quick also, Lucky's 13s. We're gonna have a big draft party Thursday, April 23rd. I'm still just pushing it very slightly right now. It's just all in the party is definitely happening, but it's all in the beginning stages. So there's going to be things added to this party as time gets closer. And I know we're going to have helmets, autographed helmets. There's going to be some jerseys. There's going to be a bunch of stuff. So keep that in mind. It's a long way away, but don't make any plans. If you're not going down for the draft, which I know a lot of people don't want to be stuck with 700,000 people in a little fishbowl, which basically is what's going to happen down in North Shore. It's not going to be – I can't see how it's even going to – I hope it works, but I can't see where all the people are going to fish out to. That it's going to be crazy down there. So if you don't want to be one of them people, but you love the draft, hit me up for a ticket as we get closer to that. I think you hit right on the head, Darren, that nobody should expect this team to make the playoffs. Would that be a good way to put it? But
it's a bonus if you do.
Yeah, chances are good that they're going to be that team that's on that outside fringe, and you're like, oh man, they win this game tonight. They're right there. They're going to be doing a lot of them games this year, huh? Where it's like, man, This is a big 2 points here. Don't give up the extra point when you're playing, teams in your division. I think this division's built really. It's going to be very tight all year. I think you might have, like you said before, the Carolina and the New Jersey might separate a little bit at the top, but I think like even Philly's ahead of us right now. I think we're a better team than Philly, but
there are teams that have games played on us though. Now
that's true.
Yeah, it's like 1 to 2 games for some of the teams. So it's in points percentage. We're pretty much right there, and that's what I always tell people: look at points percentage versus raw points. That you're usually going to get a better barometer, especially early in the year when you do get some pretty wild swings about how many games somebody has played.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked. Philly only has 20. Philly actually has one less than us, so they're actually
Philly's been better. Tocchet has them. They're horrible to watch, but they're good defensively.
Yeah, they're gonna play a Rick Tocchet style. They're gonna be abrasive and but like you're right though. Columbus and the Capitals are 1 game above us, below us. They're below us, but they're 1 game. They play 1 more game than us, and then the Rangers play 2 more, and they're in last. I mean, the Rangers could be. I hate to say it, Sullivan. Man, they are just they're rough.
I regret not getting their pick. Not regret because the Rangers had the choice, but I wish we kind of had their pick this year versus last year almost, given this draft.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. And they could be picking
they could be picking top 5 very easily right now.
But that talent, man, do you think are they gonna do what they did a couple of years ago when they cleaned house, like and rebuild real quick on the run? I mean, they did that well about 5 years ago, 5, 6 years ago, whenever
that they ran into was Lafreniere and Kako just were not what was advertised. And you can't, Buffalo's in that now. Buffalo is picked first overall, second overall, all within the last decade. Jack Eichel no longer on the team. Rasmus Dahlin's legit. He's awesome. And then Owen Power looks kind of like a whiff at that one overall spot. Not a bust because he's a viable player, but not.
Yeah, I get you. Though. He's not putting up a first pick of the draft. Could be pick it.
Yeah, and then the Rangers ran into that too. You get Kako and Lafreniere in back-to-back years, and they're just not what you thought they'd be.
Yeah, it's crazy how if you whiff a couple years in a row with high draft picks, man, it sets you back. I mean, look at Edmonton during the Yakupov days were just that hurt them, man.
Yeah, you get Yakupov. You get they took one of the Reinhardt siblings who just really didn't pan out. They took Nugent Hopkins is good, but not like a number one overall quality player. Like, I mean, they just whiffed until you get Draisaitl later and then McDavid.
Yeah, it's just crazy how that number one pick, man. You miss it. And this year we'll get into that as we get deeper into the season with McKenna and who's out there. There's some really good high end talent at the beginning of this draft coming up. I mean, and McKenna is like one guy that right now he has the experts sort of shaking their head because he's at Penn State. He's not lighting it up by no means.
I wouldn't think it. I think McKenna is still the clear best player in this draft. I genuinely do. You watch him, he's kind of running into the Kindle problem of where he's setting dudes up and they're just not finishing any of it. Like, he's probably missing 4 or 5 assists, where if you have that, all of a sudden you're top 5 in college scoring at a 17-year-old, right? Like, it's the margins are fine. I think the discussion is going to be after McKenna. Is it Stenlund or Verhoef?
Yeah.
Like, that's where I think the conversation comes into effect.
Yeah, and Sports Bible, so people out there listening, right, they're going to have Sports Bible. We're going to do some we'll do some prospects on that. Darren's very big on the draft. I'd like to get something going for the NHL draft as well. I think the fans in Pittsburgh are going to start realizing how important the draft is in the NHL now, as well as we got a ton of draft picks. I mean, I was just talking to somebody the other day. I was watching Dubas was on the screen, and I looked at my buddy and I go, "Man, this guy really has done a very good job." I mean, quietly he has rebuilt the team while still staying competitive. So he basically has hit A and B. I mean, like you already talked about, this team could make the playoffs this year. It wouldn't be a total shock to anybody right now. And I mean, we actually could talk about prospects now for the first time in years, where we have a stable of people. And I think you're right. I think he's fishing through what he's got. I think I would not be shocked to see a Sam Poulin. I'm not saying release, but a guy that just you ain't gonna see him again after this.
You do an underwhelming prospect for another underwhelming prospect trade to try and do a cheap scenery flip.
Yep, and the scenery flip can work sometimes, man. We've seen that how many times in the past. But anyways, Darren, I want to thank you so much. We do this every 2 weeks, so we'll have a little bit more games now. Going because then the Olympics come too. So I mean, we got but they're going to try to feed the NHL is going to feed some games here soon, where it's going to be a lot of back-to-backs, a lot of every other day kind of games.
The Penguins have, outside of the Islanders, I'm pretty sure the Penguins actually have the shortest distance traveled every year because they're so close to Columbus and Philadelphia and DC and Buffalo and all these other teams. They tend to get fed more back-to-backs. So I wouldn't be shocked if they have the second or third most this year again.
That makes sense, because I do the schedule a lot for a game that I got where I add the schedule, and it's like, man, this seems like it's always we have a lot of, it seems that every year we do have a lot more back-to-backs, and that makes sense what you're saying. We're basically, Pittsburgh it's in a nice spot for, like, especially our division, man. We're like we're the ones that are pretty much the middle.
It out. It's an easy flight to Detroit. It's an easy flight to Toronto. It's an easy flight to DC or Carolina. Like, you're not traveling, even some Western Conference teams like Nashville, very easy flight.
True, man. And so in 2 weeks, we're gonna have a lot more games to talk about. Hopefully, the Penguins they just keep getting points when you can. I mean, even yesterday, I hate getting only one, but like we talked about, man, you don't want to be that team that's not getting any points in games. That's where you, like, that 5-0 game against Minnesota was like would you call that the worst game this team has played all year by far?
That or the Rangers game at home. One of those two games.
That's true. I forgot about that. We looked so good at New York, and then we came home, and I think I was the one game Sullivan lit the fire on this team. Like, hey man, I'm not gonna lose. I'm not gonna lose to my boys
Not
twice.
leg. Yeah.
But once again, Gorman's Pub, thank you so much for sponsoring. Great atmosphere, pool tables, dartboards, karaoke. Great place. If you have a group of friends here in the South Hills, you want to go hang out for a night. It's a great place to just go hang out. A lot of room, a lot of space. You don't feel like someone's on top of you all the time. If you're from the Brentwood Baldwin area, I can almost guarantee you're going to know one or two people in that bar unless you're a shut-in your whole life. It's almost impossible not to go in Gorman's and not recognize one person because it's just, you just talk about the Pittsburgh being a local spot. Gorman's is a perfect South Hills spot because it's right in the middle of everybody in the South Hills. But thank you, that Gorman's. And then once again, I'll just show it up at the draft party, April 23rd. A lot more information coming. Just keep that in the back burner right now. Once I get the tickets made, the tickets will be going out. There's going to be some fun stuff going on. And I'm actually probably going to sell people that can't make the party. I'm still going to sell tickets so you can try to get one of them, the autographed helmets we're going to have. So, another way to, if you want to be a part of it and help out Sports Bible, you want to buy some tickets for the helmets or the jerseys or whatever we're giving away, you could still be a part of that. So lots of stuff on the horizon for Sports Bible. Darren, thank you so much for your knowledge. As we get deeper into the year, we're going to talk more and more. Today was more Penguins, but we'll talk more about the NHL, what's going on around the NHL. Then, of course, we'll start talking draft talk, trade talk. That's what's great about hockey, man. We can talk about the Olympics, and we get down to the Olympic time and talk about, what teams you think are. Of course, people in Pittsburgh, it's a weird time. You always root for Team USA. Never going to say not to, but it's hard when they don't. It's hard not to. It's hard when they don't win. You almost have to root for Canada. Once Team USA is out of it, you almost have to say, you know what, just to see Sid
get more accolades.
Yeah, Sid's just phenomenal, man. But hey, Darren, thank you. 2 weeks from now, we'll be back, tape to tape. Check us out on Sports Bible, www.sportsbible.com. Thank you so much for your time, Darren.
Oh, of course, JT. Have a good one.
You too.